What up, folks, and welcome to the Kyber Culture episode 105 with myself, the Depocalorian, and John Doerr. On the docket today, we just got a little news going. We're also going to discuss Andor episodes 8 and 9. Then we're going to close out this episode chatting Tales of the Jedi, the newest animated Star Wars series on Disney+, and we'll be ranking our least favorite to favorite episodes of those. So stick around. Make sure to follow the Kyber Culture on YouTube and TikTok, as well as our other socials like Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. All the links are in the description. And if you like what you're listening to, please consider leaving a rating and a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We'd really appreciate it. But before we get into the show, Aaron, how's it going, dude?
Doing okay, man. Not a whole lot new on my front other than there's kind of been no life in the new Call of Duty, man. It's
no life? Is that what you said?
No lifing. Yeah, just
no lifing. Wow.
Yeah, just straight up wake up in the morning, take care of my dog, get some coffee, and we're just playing Call of Duty for straight 8 hours, dude. I'm feeling.
Are you just murking fools or what? Are you getting murked?
No. Yes and no. You know, I had a game where I dropped 73 kills. I had a game where I got like 5 kills. You know what I mean? It's classic Call of Duty.
It's on and off.
Nothing's new in the Call of Duty world. Like, this Call of Duty is not different in terms of the way people play the game, the way that the Call of Duty lobbies are.
The classic problematic chat rooms.
Yeah,
they're back.
It's
back in force.
Hey, they're not problematic if you just disable them. You know what I'm saying? And you never have to deal with them. I can't believe it hasn't changed, because I remember playing Modern Warfare, like the original Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 1, 15 years ago. And it's just, this shit has not changed at all, because it targets just such a wide audience. Like, that's the root of it. But I've been having fun with it, man. There's not a lot else for me to play, like in my playbook and like games that I want to play. Waiting for Dragonflight to come out. Crazy, perfect Blizzard Activision timing. Call of Duty gets released in early November and Dragonflight gets released in late November. That's just crazy coincidental. Nah, I've been having fun. It's nice. There are some things about the Call of Duty that I do like, as far as like attachments and camos, gun skins go. Yeah, outside of that, doing all right. My dog's doing good. Winter's coming. Winter is definitely coming.
Dude, it's cold in Southern California, which is real nice.
I heard,
it's
man.
fucking great. I was in sweats and a sweater today, which was amazing. I was like, it's finally fucking here. I was wearing my hood for a little bit because like, damn, it's a little chilly.
Dude, the other night I was rocking the BB-8 onesie, low dim lights, candles, playing Call of Duty, dude.
Yo.
Like if that is not the most nostalgic, like, wintertime feeling you can possibly get, I don't know what else is. Maybe not the candle part of it, but I like candles, so I don't know.
Yeah. No, I also just love like crispy cold, looking around, some Christmas lights are up. I'm like, damn, 'tis the season, dude.
'Tis the season. Where's Mariah Carey at? You know what I'm saying? Haven't heard her once, by the way.
I haven't heard her either, but I've seen this video of her on social media, and like it was of her like biking on like a stationary bike. It's super random, but she's like biking and she's wearing like a witch costume, and then it like transitions to like her in Christmas attire. She's fully accepting that it's like once Halloween is over, it's Mariah season, and I think
good for her.
Yeah, no, I think it's hilarious. Like she's fully accepting the meme.
How would she have known?
Like she's
that when
becoming
she made
the meme.
that song. How would she have known?
Incredible. Good for her, honestly.
Yeah. Good.
You gotta respect it, dude.
Yeah. No, outside of that, man, we're moving along, man. What about you, Joe?
I'm doing well. Not bad. Kind of business as usual. Brian's not here, but I want to speak in his behalf. It's his birthday on
9th.
But he's gonna be going to New York for his 30th birthday. Happy early birthday, bud. I mean, we're recording this on November 4th. But yeah, so he's going to be going to New York. I might be going to New York at the end of November. So that's exciting. I'm going to try to attend a little work thing and also like work HQ is out there. So, and most of my team that I work with is out there. So it's going to be nice to meet them in person and not just over the computer. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I was talking about it like it's for sure. It's not for sure yet. I think it's like 60% chance it's going to happen that I go to New York at the end of November, but we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. But let's take a quick break for some ads before we move on. And okay, we're back. Let's talk a little news here. Some things happened this week, and Aaron, I just want to chat with you about a couple of these things here. So, first piece of news, Russo Bros live action Hercules. Now, I think the live action Disney movies of the classic animated films kind of have a really tough track record. But the Russo Bros live action, everyone knows the Russo Bros. They directed fucking Captain America Winter Soldier, my personal favorite MCU film. They did Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame, and then after the MCU stuff, they just made a bunch of mid. But their live action Hercules movie is supposedly going to be inspired by TikTok, whatever the fuck that means. But here's the thing about that quote. In the actual article from Variety, there's actually nothing in the article that says, like, we are inspired by TikTok for this live action Hercules movie. Here's what the quote actually says. Audiences today have been trained by TikTok, right? What is their expectation of what that musical looks like and feels like? So, Aaron, let me ask you, like, how would you interpret this quote? Like, do you think people are wrong for thinking that it's inspired by TikTok?
I don't think they're wrong necessarily. I honestly just think it's kind of skewed because this quote is basically saying, like, TikTok has the ultimate influence on multiple generations. That's my whole problem with this quote. It's not just like a Zoomer thing. Like, this isn't Vine. You know what I mean? TikTok, for what it's worth, is probably here to stay, or at least some form of it. Like the whole Instagram Reels, like that kind of thing. Like, yeah, like that does inspire some things where you're just constantly scrolling and like you're instantly getting fed information. But like, I've never seen anything about a Russo Brothers Hercules.
Russo Bros Hercules has been in the works. Well, they're not, I don't think they're going to be directors, but they're definitely going to be like executive producers on the film. Like they're attached to the movie. And something I actually left out, it's going to be a musical inspired by TikTok. And I mean, the original one was a musical.
It was musical, yeah.
And that's another thing I will say too. The original Hercules animated film is very 90s inspired. You know what I mean? Like, as far as like merchandising is concerned.
Music and
So I wouldn't be shocked to see if it tries to appeal like the current times, because that's exactly what the original Hercules was. You know, like it appealed to the 90s.
But that's what all of the like remakes or like from animation to live action movies are doing. Like the second Hocus Pocus, it was doing the same thing. Like it was doing like old renditions of songs into like a modern version of it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like it's the same thing. Like, and it just feels regurgitated, and I don't personally see a need to like do a live action Hercules movie. I really don't, because like I kind of just want to leave like that kind of mythology just like to its actual core of it, like the mythological aspect of it. I don't know. I just think that like in terms of where the Russo Bros are going, like, bro, you guys are literally going downhill. Like this, like what is this, man? Like it's almost like, God, I don't even want to make a god awful comparison, but it's like you want to get like George Lucas to do, you know, like a Winnie the Pooh movie or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not
no,
about it at all.
The Russos, okay, I will give it to them. They were producers on a film recently called Everything Everywhere All at Once, but that is the best thing that they've done post Endgame. Everything else is just like not memorable, or, you know, I don't know. I feel like they're just riding high because they made like one of the top grossing movies of all time. But I don't know. I think this Hercules movie, like just Hercules, TikTok, like I wouldn't be surprised if it is inspired by TikTok, even though it doesn't say that in the article. it's just one of the things that's part of society. Like how the 90s Hercules movie was. It's just taking like what's current in pop culture and like tossing it in a film. I just hope it's not like I'll be sitting in the audience watching the Hercules movie and then all of a sudden I see like a vertical like shot of like I'm watching it from a phone screen of Hercules doing some stupid fucking dance.
Yeah. And I'm like doing the gritty. You trying to hit the gritty? Hercules hitting the gritty.
Exactly, dude. Like, oh gosh. But it's insane. I mean, I don't blame people for like this quote, like audience today have been trained by TikTok. Like right there, it's like, oh, okay, well, the Russos are like making this movie with that fact in mind. It's like part of the same thought to me. TikTok is a big thing right now. Like, how do we appeal to that audience? Like, how would you not interpret that as being inspired?
But TikTok's like also not necessary because it's become so big. It's not necessarily one specific audience. Like, there are a lot of different audiences on TikTok. The concept of it revolving around Hercules done by the Russo bros is just like fucking crazy to me.
It's like, who are you going to cast in this movie too? Like, who is your modern day Hercules that will do TikTok dances?
The Rock, not doing TikTok dances,
God, dude.
But if The Rock was Hercules, that makes a lot of fucking sense.
You know, The Rock was already Hercules, right?
Oh shit, he wasn't he?
He was already Hercules.
Holy shit. I totally forgot, man.
Dude, that shit. Oh God. We gotta stop this. We gotta stop this.
Let's move on, dude.
We've moved into a dark place. But anyways, that's like the Russo Bros live action musical inspired by TikTok. I'll watch it for sure. No expectations for it. Next piece of news. We talked about, or you and Brian talked about The Witcher on this pod. Henry Cavill stepping away from The Witcher. Honestly came as a shocker to me. Not really a shocker, but supposedly he left due to creative differences. But I think we know it's like, all right, well, you're about to be wrapped up with Superman, because like he also announced he's back as Superman. And another detail about this is I think there's a third season of The Witcher that will be coming. I'm not sure when that comes out, but he'll be the Witcher in that. But come season 4, he will no longer be the Witcher, and he will be replaced by Liam Hemsworth. So what do you think about this? Are you still gonna watch the Witcher show? Or because for me, like, I never played any Witcher games or read any Witcher books, but the only draw for it to me was the fact that Henry Cavill was in it. So I mean, I think I'll still watch the 4th season, but I'm just like a little skeptical for how they move forward with the character. What do you think?
Okay, when I heard the news, I was like, damn, man. Actually, you know what my actual reaction was? Fuck. Fuck. I mean, classic Witcher fashion, you know what I mean? He was my draw into The Witcher because I didn't play, like, I only played The Witcher 3, but I didn't play it all the way through. Love the world, love the universe. I love the fantasy of it. But now looking at it, that he's leaving, I kind of just think like it was a perfect casting, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that there are not other actors out there that could play the role. And I think Liam Hemsworth is a good casting. Like I really do. There was a post by Boss Logic where it was like his fan art, rendition. Yeah, his fan art. There's like a comment in there's like, it doesn't even fucking look like Liam Hemsworth. And I'm like, does Henry Cavill really look? Well, I mean, he kind of does as Geralt, like when he's actually in the show. But are there not like a handful of other substitutes that could play the role perfectly? You know what I mean? Like his role, like he doesn't have a lot of monologue. He doesn't have a lot of dialogue. Like
he doesn't have to do too much.
No.
To sell the role.
He just has to play like a lifeless, emotionless, like basically mercenary that is just muscular as fuck. You know what I mean? Like it's not that hard to replace. All that being said, I am sad that he is leaving, but I will definitely still watch season 4 when it comes out. And I would like to see Henry Cavill's Geralt go out in terrific fashion. I hope season 3 is an absolute banger.
Yeah, I agree. Pretty bummed that he's leaving the role, and just kind of hope that Liam does it justice. But he does have, and Liam knows it too. I think he said it in a post, like he has big shoes to fill. Yeah, and I guess we'll see how that goes. But that's The Witcher. Side note unrelated to The Witcher. Henry Cavill also confirms that he will not be in future seasons of the House of the Dragon, just because everyone's fan casting him as, everybody just wants Henry Cavill in every single cinematic universe. And I don't blame people for wanting that, like I want Henry Cavill in every cinematic universe. But a funny quote that I heard from, because I watched this interview with this journalist. His name is Josh Horowitz, and he was the one interviewing Cavill about, he asked Cavill this question, oh, are you going to be in House of the Dragon? To which he replied, no. But then Cavill also said, while he was watching House of the Dragon, he's like, oh, a lot of these guys would make great Witchers. So I was like, oh, that's super cool. Cavill's such a nerd. I fucking love it. And that's the only reason why
he's fucking awesome. I love him.
That's the only reason why I'm gonna miss him as the Witcher, just because he loves the lore of it, and that's what makes him so great in the role. But yeah, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. And his little his Instagram post of him saluting off Geralt as a role and passing it on to Liam Hemsworth was so fucking good, man. He's basically just saying this is a fucking amazing role. I know you're gonna do fucking fantastic, and I really, really implore you to explore this role and this character. And I don't know, he's just such a fucking awesome guy. He's so fucking cool. I love him.
I love Henry Cavill.
No dirt on his name. Nerd, plays WoW. Super handsome. Buff.
Yeah.
Come on.
Hey, you know what? In this interview, what else he talked about was because Horowitz asked him what's your favorite nerd collectible?
Arthas Frostmourne.
Was it? No, it wasn't. Oh. It wasn't Frostmourne. You're actually.
I hope so.
You're really close though, but pretty much he pretty much said how he's constantly on the go. So he doesn't have a collectible that he can purchase and kind of really admire, which I respected. It that makes sense, But Blizzard sent him a big ass figurine. He didn't show it, but it was a big figurine of the Lich King, and they gave it to him because of the Wrath of the Lich King relaunch. What is it? Yeah. Classic.
Yeah. Wrath of the Lich King Classic. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was talking about how much he liked that one, and he would say that's his current favorite. He has a statue of the Lich King. I'm like, that's sick.
Is that an Arthas?
Oh yeah, Arthas. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Arthas.
But he specifically said Frostmourne though, right?
Yeah. Well, I said Arthas then Frostmourne because I was like,
I just heard Frostmourne. I thought you were saying just the sword, but he has a full-on statue of Arthas the Lich King. Maybe he is holding Frostmourne. I don't know. When he said Frostmourne, I imagined that sword with what's the name of Jon Snow's sword again? Longclaw. Yeah, no, that's what I was picturing. Just a replica of
the actual replica of the weapon.
Yeah.
I think it's also because Boss Logic did a rendition of him with.
Oh yeah, that
always comes to Boss Logic, dude. It always comes to him, dude.
That's an insane picture.
It looks so good.
It's so fucking good. But yeah, Henry Cavill.
I'd love to see it. If they do a WoW series or a WoW movie again, even though the Warcraft movie was shit.
No, okay. If they ever did a Warcraft movie, for one, Henry Cavill has to be in it. Henry Cavill has to be a producer behind it, maybe even a writer. That would be a passion project for him. And I know he wants to be a producer someday. That's something else that Josh Horowitz asked him. He was like, would you ever want to be a producer? He's like, it's definitely in my plans. He's not saying that alluding to oh, I would produce a Warcraft movie,
But if it came to me.
Yeah, if it came to me, yeah. If I were to produce anything, I would love to do it. And fuck, if he could produce a Warcraft movie, oh man, a good Warcraft movie. Because Arthas is a fucking tragic ass character, dude. You can make a great story out of that.
Amazing. I mean,
yeah.
Warcraft has a fucking amazing lore and already amazing cinematics.
The possibilities. But anyway, all right. I'm gonna rapid fire some news topics here, and we will once I'm done with it, let me know if you want to chime in on any of them. So here we go. Westworld canceled after 4 seasons. What a bummer. give it a few years. I think it'll be back. Season 4 kind of ended on a cliffhanger, and it seemed like season 5 was going to be like the end game. Season 5 would be the final season, but there's so much going on at like Warner Bros. Discovery that I think like Westworld is just kind of like, it's not their focus right now. So that's why they canceled the series. But like I said, I think it'll come back in a few years. It's just not going to be available for like, I would give it like 4 years minimum that Westworld season 5 will be back, because they have to wrap up the story. They left it on, the story is complete. But anyway, we'll see about Westworld. Couple MCU things. We got Vision getting his own spin-off series titled Vision Quest. I mean, I guess we'll see about that. Like last time we saw Vision, he was like White Vision, and he just kind of flew off in WandaVision. So we'll see. Aubrey Plaza cast as supposedly a villain in Agatha Coven of Chaos, another like spin-off of WandaVision. So we'll see about that. Big time MCU rumor. John Bernthal supposedly back as the Punisher for Phase 5. Fuck me, like I want to see John Bernthal as the Punisher. Or no, not. Of course, I want to see him as the Punisher, but I want to see him as the new War Machine, just because, like in the comics, I'm not sure how he obtains the War Machine armor, but he has it. So we'll see about that. I imagine that would be like an in the Armor Wars movie. I feel like James Rhodes, fucking Don Cheadle, will like assume the role of Iron Man, and then the mantle of War Machine is empty. So come on, let's fucking make it John Bernthal. That'd be sick. Another quick piece of news: Grogu's short film. This was a shocker. Grogu short film. I can't wait for this. That sounds fucking hilarious and wholesome, but that'll be on Disney Plus November 12th. The Last of Us starring Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey premieres January 15th, 2023. Couple gaming things from me. God of War Ragnarok, high praise across the board with 10 out of 10 from IGN. Lowest score I saw was 9.5, and I think that was from Game Informer. Let's see what else we got. Marvel and EA developing 3 new action adventures games, starting with a solo Iron Man game. Sounds pretty interesting. We'll see. These just sound like more games that I'm just going to buy and not even play. God of War Ragnarok is also in there, but I'm actually trying to put in some time for that. See how that goes. And Lionsgate looking to develop a AAA John Wick game. It all sounds pretty fun, but any of those things interest you?
2 points. Ragnarok, man. I hate
Rip.
Sony. I hate Sony. I hate them.
Rip.
Actually, I don't. I love them. Santa Monica Studios. I never played God of War, God of War 2, God of War 3. I only played God of War 4 or just God of War.
2018 God of War. Yeah.
2018 God of War Game of the Year. Like, it's just a fantastic game. You play it, you want more, but you also are so satisfied with playing the game and just like stowing it away and wanting more. It's perfect. Ragnarok, we'll talk about it in a year. Do we when it comes to PC.
Do we know if it'll be available on PS4?
It should be. I mean, most of the titles that are coming out are going to be available on PS4.
I actually just looked it up. It will be available on PS4.
Yeah. Sony's not going to do that. Like, if they're not going to put it on PC, there's no way that they also do not release it on PS4. Like, you're really fucking your fans there. I just can't wait. I mean, the trailer's fucking fantastic. Like, I just can't wait for that. It's so fucking good.
I want to fight Thor, dude. I want to fight Thor so bad.
Actual Thor. Actual fat, drunken Thor.
Yeah.
Like, and all this, like, cosmic shit that we're getting in Ragnarok. Like, oh my God, it looks so good. We also have the talking head back. I keep forgetting his name.
Is it Mimir? It's Mimir.
It's Mimir.
Isn't it?
It's Mimir, dude. Mimir is like the best comic relief to like this whole fucking game. At least in God of War.
He's the best. He's the best companion to have, just because like whenever you're like boating through like the Lake of Nine or whatever, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Like he like
around
starts.
The serpent.
Yeah, he starts going on about a story, and it's like, okay, well, I'm not gonna boat to my destination because you'll stop telling the story. So I'm gonna just stop in the middle of the lake and just listen.
or if you keep boating to your destination, fucking Kratos is just like, shut up, head. So it
No, he won't say shut up head. Like if he gets the destination, like Mimir will just straight up say like, it looks like we're here. And he'll just stop. I'm like, come on, dude, let me hear the rest of the story.
I love it. I mean, it's just, I just can't wait. Got to go sell my body for a PS5, I think. But moving on from that, I love it. I love that Santa Monica Studios are just fucking crushing the series. Like they're absolutely destroying it. The John Wick game.
Sounds like so much fun.
Is going to be so fucking fun. Lionsgate being behind it only as a publisher. Nothing behind development. Like I'm very interested to see who they put behind as the publisher, as the developer, and the other companies that are involved in game making. Like I really want to see that, but
Rockstar Games, dude.
Those GTA fans out here would punish you right now.
Why?
We want GTA 6, man.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
On.
Okay. Sorry.
For the John Wick game, I think that will be one hell of fucking fun game to play.
Dude,
Cinematics, gameplay, combat, it'll be fucking awesome.
Absolute violence. Like the way that like I like engage with John Wick movies as it is, like just watching the first one, it's like the plot moves like it's already a video game as it is.
Exactly.
Like the first one is just like he like goes to like someone that sells weapons. He's like, oh, let me buy this gun. Let me get some armor. Like it's like it's like a game.
Yeah.
Like you're going to a merchant for weapons, then you have to go on your mission. It's perfect. I think John Wick is a perfect video game.
Ran into the wrong guy. You killed my dog. That's my best friend. Yeah. I ain't got nobody else. I'm gonna fuck you up. Let's go.
I'm going on a fucking rampage.
Dude,
Fuck
I'm
you.
Committing fucking some sort of side. Can't wait for it. That's it for me.
I'd say it's like years away. Like they're like Lionsgate is looking for like someone to develop it, and who knows when we get that announcement that they like found somebody. You know, I'd say that announcement is like 6 months to a year. We'll see how it goes. But John Wick game, just the idea of it is very exciting and very cool. But anything else? Anything else from you?
Grogu short film.
We'll be talking about it.
Yeah.
We'll watch it and we'll be talking about it.
I hope there's some origin to it. Yeah, we'll see.
But okay, let's take one more break for some ads, and then we're gonna talk some Andor afterwards. And we're back. Start with episode 8, Narkina 5. Not the Niamos arc, like I previously mentioned the last time we talked about Andor, but I'm gonna just say this is a prison arc. Obviously, it has to be the prison arc. But general thoughts from me: fucking crazy ass prison with wild ass floors. What the fuck? Like between this and House of the Dragon and the prison arc of Andor, like Bare Feet is just so in right now. It's fucking nuts. I don't know if you watched House of the Dragon recently, but one of the episodes, I'm gonna spoil just a little bit for you, Aaron. Alicent and Laris, they have this relationship, and pretty much Laris gives Alicent information, and in exchange she shows Laris her feet. And he like jerks off to him.
Content.
So Bare Feet is all the rage in TV right now, which is fucking insane. But anyways, I really like this convo between Cyril and Deidre. All the conversation in the show, like we talk about it all the time, but every conversation is just chef's kiss. Just because like there's so much that the Empire is covering up. It's like they forced Cyril to sign some documents to say how things went down, even though that's not how it went down on Ferrix. Just more reason to hate the Empire. Honestly, Andor, like since the Empire is kind of like on the hunt for Andor, like him being in prison in a way kind of saved his ass. And it's interesting because the Empire, like the rebels, seems disconnected in a way, even though they're like kind of the ones ruling right now. Just because, like, how do you, like, the Empire has Andor, like, they have Cassian in their custody, you know? And it's like, they're on the hunt for him, but it's like, how do you not know this, you know? But I guess it's like, there's no real reason to assume he was arrested and he's in there, like, under a different name.
You literally give them alphanumeric fucking identifications. Like, you created this system and you can't find them. Like,
yeah.
what?
You guys are fucking blowing it. Like, oh man, like the Empire sucks in this, but like they're also fucking idiots, so that's on them. I don't know. This was a big thing for me in episode 8. Andy Serkis. Fucking back.
Yes.
In Star Wars,
dude.
Andy Serkis is back, baby. And you just love to see him getting more roles that aren't motion capture. Like, he now has 2 great roles in Star Wars. He was Snoke. Now he's this guy, Kino. We also get like another new character who seems to be Cassian's buddy by the name of Melshi. This guy's cool. He's interesting because he's also in Rogue One. Didn't have any speaking lines in Rogue One, but he was one of the rebels that like he was like one of the background rebels that agreed to go with Jyn to Scarif. So, but let me hear from you a little bit. What did you think about episode 8? I think there's a lot to like about episode 8, but
this shit's crazy, dude. Like, I think one of my big focuses on this episode is like the prison system. Obviously, I mean that is definitely the theme of this whole episode, and
how like prisoners are treated. Like,
and like. We didn't know, like, we're very interested to know, like, where Andor was going. What was he going to be doing in prison? Because it was a 6-year sentence. And my whole question is, like, what are they manufacturing with these cogwheels, dude? Like, what are these for?
What are these things?
What are these things? Like, I'm
assuming
it's for the Imperial War Machine. Like, it has to be for, like, ISDs or, like, you know, like, some form of Imperial walker or, like, I don't know. I don't know, but I want to know so bad for some reason. Like, I really want to know.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's almost like, because you kind of get this feeling of like, this story arc is fucking good.
The prison arc is...
It's really good. It's interesting. I think I had this thought at like the end of this episode, and I was like, every time I watch a new episode of Andor, I'm like, I always go back to the quote in Rogue One where he said, "I've been in this fight since I was 6 years old."
That's your favorite quote.
That is literally my favorite quote. And like, is that not what this is pretty much about? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is kind of what that's going back to. And
it's like what he went through. Yeah.
What he went through. But like, when he says that, you think that he was like this diehard rebel, just like since 6 years old. But no, that's not the case. He was kind of lost. Didn't know what he got himself into. Like, I love it. What else? What else in this episode? Mon Mothma. Everything going on with Mon and Tay. Did Vel come back in 8 or was that 9?
Vel was in 8. Her and I think Cinta, they are both on Ferrix.
Ferrix, yes.
In this episode.
Yes.
And they are essentially keeping tabs on, I think they're keeping tabs on Marva this episode.
And subsequently Bix.
Yeah.
Even though they don't even know. Yeah. Bix wanted to do that last call out for help.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really bad move. Clea knew it. Luthen got really fucking lucky that they shut that call down. This is an 8, right? I blend
this is
them.
an 8.
Okay, this is an 8. I just blend them together because I kind of watch it as a movie. But if they had picked up that call, everything would have been just absolutely fucked.
And they're trying to cut ties.
But yeah, oh my god, and the interrogations, man.
Interrogations are great. Like the ones with, I briefly touched on it, but the one with Cyril and Deidre, that one's pretty good. The interrogations at the end of the episode where I think they're like interrogating like Bix's boss or something, right? That's kind of heavy. Bix doesn't get interrogated till episode 9, but we'll talk about that.
Oh, the whole technology behind it. But yeah, no, the interrogation, this whole relationship between Cyril and Miro, it's just insane because I witnessing Cyril doing what he's doing, and like he is literally like the definition of like the most diehard fanatic, like loyalist motherfucker. And he's
obsessed. Yeah.
He's actually deranged, but he doesn't look deranged. Like he literally just looks like, nah, I gotta get up, I gotta go to work. Like, hey, I got a promotion.
But that's the thing though, is that like in real life, like some serial killers that you look at in court, like you just see a picture of them. He's like, oh, this guy wouldn't hurt a fly. And I think that's kind of like when they were casting Cyril in this, I think that's kind of the vibe they're going for. Is like when you initially look at him, it's like, God, nah, this guy's nothing. But then when you actually get to know, like once you get into like the psyche of his character, it's like, oh, this guy's a fucking nutcase.
Yes, he's actually fucking insane. But he has a lot of truth. That's the fun part about his character. Those are the standouts for me in episode 8.
One more thing we have to talk about in episode 8. I only have one more thing and I wanted to save it because I wanted to talk about it with you. Saw Gerrera. Forrest Whitaker is fucking here. He's fucking back.
Dude. He's almost better than he was in Rogue One.
Oh, yeah,
Rogue One.
dude.
Almost.
Yeah. It's like he doesn't skip a beat.
All his fucking heavy ammunition behind him. Like, oh my God. Like,
but let's talk about the conversation real quick. So Saw Gerrera, he has a little interaction with Luthen. Also got to mention that Saw Gerrera has the dopest looking X-Wings. All blacked out. Kind of reminded me of Poe's X-Wing, but like just way cooler. I love that he refers to the heist on Eldani as a masterpiece. Like, I loved how him and Luthen were going back and forth. It's like, oh, did you do it? No, you did it. No, you thought that was me?
But they both knew.
That wasn't me. But they both knew, yeah. He was like, oh, it was a masterpiece. And I don't know why it just occurred to me this episode, but like Luthen's whole deal, like I know he was selling, or no. He was trying to buy the Imperial Starpath unit off Cassian, but aside from that, like he is like his whole deal is selling Imperial weapons to the rebels. Like I don't know if that was just made a little more clear this episode, but it just clicked in my head when I was watching this. Like that's what his whole deal is, you know. He's trying to like build up the rebellion by selling them weapons, and that's something that the ISB on Coruscant, that's something that they talk about. That's something that Deidre catches on to. They refer to Luthen as quote unquote Axis, because I think they come across the Starpath unit. They're like, oh, he slipped up on Ferrix, but we found out that this is what he's doing. But anyways, this kind of reminds me, like Luthen's role, selling all these weapons. It reminds me of The Last Jedi. Like, remember when Benicio del Toro, when they escape the casino planet on the ship, they find whoever owns the ship sold weapons to both the Empire and the Resistance.
The real war machine.
Yeah, the real war machine. And something that kind of plays into this, I was just letting my imagination run, but Saw asks Luthen, like, who do you align with? And he genuinely asks, like, I really don't know who you align with right now. Like, I've never known who you align with. And I'm just like, holy fuck, like, there's no way that Luthen's ship was the one in the Latin. I don't think it was. That's just wishful thinking, but I'm just like, that would be an insane connection. But I don't know. Like, his allegiance is kind of still a mystery, even though you kind of know he's a rebel, but you know, like Luthen could just be all out for himself, just trying to make some money off these folks and not really being down with the cause. I could see that. And I love that Saw kind of puts him in this position just because, like, in previous episodes, like, especially when Luthen is talking to Mon Mothma, like, he's always the one that's like, hey, I had to do this. It was necessary. This heist was necessary, you know, for the Empire to overreact. And Mon Mothma,
he's always been the extremist. Always.
Yeah, he was always the extremist, but now, like, Saw is, like, the more extreme one, you know? And Luthen's kind of, like, more reserved in that sense. I just think that's great about this episode, and I love that about this conversation. You get a little more of Saw just because, like, you get a little more of Saw's ideology. Like, even though, like, all the rebels want the same thing, like, I just want to recite this quote that Saw was saying. And these are all people that are, like, leaders in their own respects, I guess. But Saw says, like, oh, Krieger's a separatist, Maya Pei is a neo-Republican, the Gorman Front, the Partisan Alliance, Sectorists, Human Cultists, Galaxy Partitionists, like, these are all, like, groups that are against the Empire, but he, like, Saw refers to all of them as being lost. And he says that, this is my favorite line, he's like, I'm the only one with clarity of purpose. And, like, that's tough. Like, that's so fucking hard. Like, Saw doesn't fuck with any of these people. I guess they're, like, more in the middle, I guess. But what do you think?
They're definitely on at least the way that he describes all those groups of people, because we never really met any of those groups, like, on screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The way that he paints it, yes, they are neutral. But I feel like the whole reason this conversation is just so fucking good is because Luthen described Saw's ideology as anarchy. But it's like, how can you be an anarchist when you literally do not have a group to be anarchists? If you want to be an anarchist, we need to like form up. Like, we have to
band
being
together,
more organized. We actually have to start organizing. And Luthen's right. Saw just sees overthrowing the Empire as this brute force we gotta fucking drop bombs, like we gotta fucking take out bases, like we have to do this. You know what I mean? This is the only front you can do it.
And I love how Luthen also says like anarchy is a seductive concept. Like that's how he.
Because it sounds nice.
Yeah,
but you're not really an anarchist. It's amazing. I love it because Saw has also been painted as like the most extreme when it comes to being a rebel in any other content that we've got.
But yeah, no, that was definitely the highlight of the episode for me. Gotta love Saw Gerrera. I hope he comes back, but like by the end of the season, I hope he comes back or sometime in season 2. I don't see him coming back. If he doesn't, I'm satisfied with what we got because that was just a great exchange between Luthen, who we thought was like an extremist for the cause, and it's just like, nah, he ain't shit compared to Saw.
And I also just hope we see a reason, like a brief reason, why he's on a respirator all the time in Rogue One. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he didn't have the respirator, right? Not yet.
He did not. He sounded raspy.
He just seemed like he was like he just been through a lot.
Yeah. Old age.
He has a scar on his face. But yeah, no. Forrest Whitaker, fantastic. Any more thoughts on episode 8?
That's it for me. It's getting juicy. It's getting juicy.
Saucy, dude. But okay, let's move on to episode 9. This one's titled Nobody's Listening. Love that. Just a couple thoughts from me. Fucking leave Bix alone, bro. This was tough to watch, but the technology was interesting that they're using to interrogate Bix because it looks like they put a device on her head and you could tell that she it's a very quiet device, and it's almost like when I was watching it, I had the volume. I usually have the volume pretty high up in my TV, but it's like when they put it on, there was like some noise canceling stuff, but you couldn't hear, like it didn't give off any sounds that it was like doing something. It was just complete silence, and then Bix just started screaming. But you know what it reminded me of? Bug-Gullet. No, it wasn't Bug-Gullet. It reminded me of fucking Poe Dameron getting interrogated by Kylo, because I'm wondering if Kylo just figured out the way to like he knew that what the technology that they put on Bix's head, he knew what it did, so he just did it with the Force on Poe. You know, I don't think that's too far of a reach, but
it's not.
Like, if for all we know, like it could just be like squeezing your brain or some shit. You know what I mean?
He literally could just be like manipulating the tissue in your brain, just
tearing your head apart from the inside. I feel like that's what the machine was doing, and that's what he could do with the Force. But yeah, no, I thought that was kind of cool, but I know you like the technology as well. So what did you think about the interrogation scene?
The tech itself, I was like, okay, that's good. But the way that doctor explained it was seems fucking good, dude.
Yeah, no, it seemed like oh, this guy's not so bad. Like it seems like he's gonna he's gonna
inject
make it
with
like
some drugs or something, you know?
Yeah, it's like he was totally talking about it like, the process isn't so bad. I mean, like, you know, you might feel a little thing here and there, but it's really no big deal. Like he would have had me convinced that like, this procedure's not gonna be that bad. Like
it's gonna be good.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be fine.
Interrogate me, dude.
Yeah, like I'm in. Like let's do it. Like I'll give you all the information you want. You seem like a great dude. But like
this dude, he had to do the whole like backstory of to how they found the technology. Like,
yeah, the
fucking Empire wanted to plant a military base on a planet of like somewhat primitive species. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the species are, and apparently, like when they die, they all like. Or when they know they're going to die, they all coalesce together. And then when they actually die, they let out this scream that is like actually fatal to certain species, humans specifically. And that's just fucking insane. So like I kind of digress a little bit. The actual technology is like, oh yeah, let's just record that and then make people listen to it. That's not that smart. But they like layered it and kind of like fine tune it, you know, they hit like the Ableton or like the fucking Adobe Audition and they were just like bang, boom, bam, boom. Now it's actually going to make you fucking tell me everything you want. But I am kind of pissed about the interrogations because they never actually made it audible that Bix or the guy who owns the shop, that they actually said anything. They actually said anything. Like, there was a scene like at the very end of the interrogation with Bix that she was like inaudibly like saying something.
Like, we don't know the information that they're giving up.
We don't know what they said. Like, we actually don't know. Kind of pisses me off in a good way. It's so scummy. It's so scummy.
I think Bix is just mentally tough, but I mean, could be wrong as well. Yeah.
No, I think she held out.
But another point I want to bring up, I want to go back to Cyril for a little bit. Cyril's a fucking freak, dude. Like,
dude,
stalking Deidre, and then the way he talked to her, dude. Like, this actor's performance, the way he was speaking to her.
I love you so much.
But he wasn't even saying that. Like, he was just saying, like, you made me see, like, the Empire in a totally different light. It was like, you made me realize how much dedicated I am to the cause. But the way he was saying it was like, I fucking love you. Like, but he was pretty much
never
expressing
said that.
He was more so expressing his love, like, for the Empire. Like, he wasn't expressing, like, love for her, but the way he said it made it seem like he was expressing or confessing his love to her. And I was like, this is so fucking weird.
Honestly, it seems out of place at sometimes.
But that
scene
good.
Was actually good. Like, that scene was like really good, because I think it like delineates, like, it made Deidre seem like she was just doing her day-to-day job compared to Cyril, who we thought originally was just doing his day-to-day job in the very beginning. As it went on, you know, like the first 3 episodes, it was just kind of like, okay, dude, you're weird. Like, you're so fucking like Nazi Hitler about this shit. It's fucking insane.
It was just odd. And like, he was just like going on about his promotion, and she was like, I had nothing to do with that, right? Like,
but I still want to thank you.
I just want to thank you. And like, I love the Empire so much, and I don't know how I could do this like without you. And like, it was just so odd and so off-putting, but it was just so well done and so well written and delivered. And I was just like, God, this makes me cringe a little bit.
So cringe. Like, how many other people in the fucking Empire are like this, man?
Yeah, it's like, you're a fucking freak, dude.
I blame his mom.
Yeah. Let's see, what else? We briefly chatted about this earlier, but Olaf. Fucking
Olaf, man.
The old man.
Clone 99.
Clone, oh yeah. Not him, he's Clone 99, but like, Olaf makes me think about Clone 99 from Clone Wars. Just because, like, both of them are like, Olaf is like just this, like, they both are very much like doing very different things. Clone 99 is just there to like he wants to support like the troops, doing whatever he can to like contribute to the cause. But it sucks because like Olaf is like in prison for something that we're not sure he's in prison for. Maybe they did talk about that. But he's just there trying to do his best to work all of his shifts so that he can finally be free of the Empire. And fuck, man, once he started getting hand cramps, I was like, fuck, this guy's in terrible shape. He had a stroke like during a shift, and it was just like, fuck, dude, like the Empire prison system just literally working their prisoners and workers to death.
And it gets so much worse once you figure out that word got down. One of the prisoners did their sentence and then got re-imprisoned literally like within days. You're like, oh my God.
I think it's like one of them moved from floor or level 4 from where, well, it's switching between floors or levels 2 and 4. And I think it was someone that just left level 4 and went to level 2. And then something else happened on level 2 where they killed everybody for some reason. I think this was like, as heavy as it sounds, I think this was like something that was kind of necessary for Cassian's character arc. Like, he sees, like, it was another reason why, like, it's just building up to like more of his like hatred for the Empire, you know?
That we haven't truly seen yet.
I think one of them, what was the first one that we talked about? That was like the pushing point for him. I forget,
the whole, as they're going up the hill, and I think it's in episode 5, like, and Cassian just says like, look, I've been paid.
Yeah, no, I think it's like a combination of that and what happened to the kid. That had to be like strike 1 for him. And then this was like strike 2. I think strike 3 has to be Marva. Something has to happen to Marva. Where he's
Oh
like,
yeah.
right,
Oh, that
fuck
is
the rebellion.
That's the hammer. That is
No,
literally the hammer.
Like not fuck the rebellion, but fuck the Empire. Olaf, man, and it was crazy just because like the way this episode ends just got me fucking fired up. I love how Cassian is just like trying to, like the entire episode, he's trying to put together an escape plan. Like he's studying the whole prison system, you know?
How many troops on each floor?
And he keeps asking Kino like how many guards are on each level, and he tries getting Kino involved in the plan, but Kino is always like, no, like you just got to work your shifts and then they'll let us out eventually. Come to discover that like once you finish your shifts, you're not free. You just get moved to another level, like we had already previously mentioned. And then Olaf dies, and then the guards tell him like, all right, go back to your quarters. And then
we need a bag and a stretcher.
I'm fucking getting it.
It's coming.
It's coming. But then right before the episode ends, Cassian asks him again, like, how many guards are in each level?
12.
And Kino's like, never more than 12. And then it just cuts to credits. I'm like, let's fucking go. It's like, dude, episode 10, fucking Prison Break episode, dude. I'm like, yeah.
Dude, it's like watching Kino break down and Cassian build up at the same time.
It's perfection, dude. And I feel like this Prison Break episode has to be a fucking banger. I think this is just going to be just like an insane episode of TV.
I think I kind of got thrown off a little bit when they were doing their normal, like, you know, going from like the workstations back to their quarters. Like they're in those tunnels and like the power shut off. I legit thought that was going to be like a rebel like save on Cassian.
I thought that too. I thought that was the beginning of the prison break there.
Yeah,
but no, like the power was just going out because I guess they were slaughtering people.
Yeah, all 100 people on level whatever it was, they got fried.
Ah, man, terrible. God, such good TV. But anyway, any final thoughts? Episode 9.
I don't really want to focus on like the Mon Mothma part of it too much, but I do love the fact that I didn't know that Vel and Mon Mothma were cousins.
Oh, dude, how could I miss it? Of course. That threw me for a loop for sure. I was like, and that, like, I remember we were talking about like, oh, like what was the connection between Luthen and Mon Mothma to begin with?
There it is.
And it had to be established through Vel, right? Yeah.
How are we blind to that?
I don't know. I wouldn't have assumed it, you know?
I don't think I would have either.
Just because they're so different. But
Mon
like,
is very passive.
Yeah.
Vel's
but like,
very aggressive. Yeah,
but like how Mon Mothma has to put on her front as a politician, Vel has to put on like her front as like a high class, like rich Coruscant person.
The best part about that, their final like words to each other: "Go out and spend credits like you're a rich person," because she knows that Vel was involved in the heist, and they got the credits.
Yeah, no, that was good. That was definitely a surprise to me. It's like, oh, like your cousin's here. It's like, oh, my cousin. Then it cuts to like them being in the penthouse or whatever, or I'll say it's a penthouse, like a nice fancy penthouse in Coruscant.
Maybe a little bit more than a penthouse. So shit's looking pretty fancy, but
yeah, or maybe like a high rise. I think high rise is a better word for it. High rise in Coruscant. Fuck, I want to live on Coruscant. That'd be nice.
I mean, my score of the show is just going like linearly up.
Yeah, no, it's been a constant 4.5 for me, and probably by the end it'll be a 5. You know,
I fucking hope so.
I just hope they land the finale, and I think they will. There's no way it doesn't. I don't want to be let down having like these insane high hopes, but yeah, no, I'm really enjoying it so far. But yeah, that's episodes 8 and 9 of Andor. So let's move on to Tales of the Jedi. 6 animated shorts. 3 focusing on Dooku, 3 focusing on Ahsoka. It's very much in the same animation style as Clone Wars, kind of like the classic
Bad
Lucasfilm.
Batch.
Yeah, Bad Batch, Rebels. Well, not really Rebels. It's more Clone Wars. Why is Rebels so different? Like, you know,
different companies, I think.
But the way we're going to talk about this, folks, is we're going to talk about like least favorite to favorite episodes. I'm going to let Aaron go first, but like whatever his number 6 is, like let's say his number 6 is like my like number 4. We're just going to talk about the episode together. Without further ado, let's talk about these 6 episodes. Like, and all of these are no more than, I want to say like no more than 18 minutes, maybe like 15, 18 minutes. Very short episodes, but very, very impactful episodes, I'd say. If I have like a quick general thought about all of them, is that I would not be surprised to see, because I'm sure they will make more of these. For one, I'm sure we'll get like another season of Tales of the Jedi, but just focused on different Jedi.
Or Tales of the Sith?
Tales of the Sith? But I think we will see some of these characters in like future animated shows. Like I could see some of these characters popping up in like Bad Batch or something like that. Or even like live action. Like some of the side characters. You know what I mean? That would be interesting. But okay, let's get it going. Least favorite to favorite. What is your bottom episode? And like I always mentioned before, little disclaimer. Just because something is ranked number 6 or something is like ranked your least favorite, I obviously like it. And I'll say this too, like every episode is at least a 4.5 or a 5 for me. But 4.5 to 5 out of 5. But like, you know, like maybe there's just something that like I like one more than the other. Like that's just the way it is. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying it's bad just because it's number 6, but like, anyways, what's your number 6?
That is exactly the disclaimer I wanted to say while ranking this. they're all so good, man. So
yeah, no, they're all very tight knit stories, well written. What's your number 6?
I feel like we agree on this one. It's the opener.
Life and death.
Life and death, man.
The baby soaks. The baby
Soka.
Baby snips. Yeah, no, it is number 6 for me.
I didn't expect going into the first short of this crying.
Yeah, no, crying of joy. Baby Soka is great. Her people are great. The animation is great. That just being in nature is super great. And I was telling you this earlier. Like, I've watched like all the shorts like multiple times, but like whenever like if I'm trying to go to bed, I always throw this one on just because
music is so peaceful,
tranquil. Like, it's wonderful.
I feel like this is the first time we've seen this. Ahsoka got identified as a Jedi from a non-Jedi.
Yeah.
No, from a non-Jedi. There was
a
non-Jedi identifying her as a Jedi, but you're like, okay, this little baby calmed this fucking beast just by putting her hand.
You know what I thought was going to happen? Because this beast is scarred up. It's literally been through some shit. I thought she was going to reach out to it and like force heal it.
Oh, shit.
I thought that's what was going to go down.
Dude, I thought I was going to get some Mononoke vibes from this one.
It just made me realize how much more Star Wars anime that I want. Like this animated in like the Mononoke style would have been gorgeous.
Vision Season 2.
I would love it. But yeah, man, it is also my number 6, Life and Death. Interesting lessons to teach Ahsoka as a youngin as well. Great episode. Anything else from you on that one? These are so short, so like I don't think we can really stick on them for that long. You know,
I love it. I mean, I think this is like a very clear, concise, short foundation to Ahsoka.
Ahsoka's mom, badass.
Bad the fuck ass, dude.
Yeah, her clan and village just full of warriors. Like it's like no wonder that she is like the Jedi she is. You know,
she's just so courageous, so brave. Like fear is nothing to her.
Yeah. Just an awesome episode. But okay, number 5?
Well, number 5 for me, Choices.
Choices? Okay, that's the one with Mace Windu.
And
right?
Dooku, yes.
Choices? Okay, so that's actually my number 4. What did you like about this one?
I think the main thing that I liked from this is that it was pre-Council Mace Windu. That is like literally my main thing. There's a little bit of divide of like, okay, honestly, if you do start 1 through 6, even though you could like watch any of them and like have nothing, like there is some progression to the series. This one is like kind of out of context just because it's like Dooku does get more and more towards the dark side out of the whole thing. In this one, I almost put this as my 6 just because there was this conversation at the end of this short where it was like, Master Windu, did you not know that you were going to be appointed the council seat before we went on that mission? And I was like,
he was just kind of there just because like he knew that it would get him that promo.
Well, and I just kind of like miss the whole background because I feel like he's talking about like the mission previous. Like there's something missing here. Having said that, I love seeing Dooku fight alongside Mace Windu. It's fucking amazing. I love it. And I also do love the kind of narrative of like the soldiers that they're talking to at the end. The one soldier, you know, we just see the Jedi as like puppets of the Senate, and it's like kind of that whole like Order 66, like common people's view on the Jedi in this time period. It's perfect for that reason, like these brief moments, but I just don't think there was a lot substantial out of the episode for me.
I'm actually I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna move choices to, it'll be my number 5 as well. But what I really liked about this episode, I feel like Justice and Choices explore kind of like similar themes, because Choices, the soldiers kind of talk about how like, oh, the senator is like taking advantage of our planet. Like we don't want to see like our planet's resources like exasperated. I think that's word. Like we don't want to see our planet like go to shit because of what the senator is like doing, you know? And that's why that's their reasoning as to why they killed that Jedi that they were investigating, right? Because they went there to retrieve a Jedi's body, but Dooku was like, oh no, like there's more at play here. And then by the end of the episode, like Dooku's like, oh, like I agree with you, like no one should be taking advantage of your planet, and like, you know, that's cool, but your methods are like I don't agree with your methods, but I agree with the cause, which is interesting. I'm almost like fucking justice for Dooku, dude.
Dude, no, straight up, straight the fuck up. He was unique to his thought process. That's for sure.
If there's anything about Dooku across all these episodes, like I loved just getting to know more about him. But yeah, this episode was great. Detective Dooku, Detective Mace, fucking great. I switched that one down to my number 5. And what's your number 4?
Justice.
That's
Justice.
mine. Justice is mine. You know, let me start it off. Just because like I was kind of like going on about it, but in this one, it's a similar theme in terms of like people in power neglecting the people of said planet, and that's pretty much what's going on here. Like you know, what I really love about this episode is, I forget which Star Wars movie it is, or if it even is a Star Wars movie, but someone's talking about how Jedi used to be protectors of the peace, and they were never really like how you mentioned, like puppets of the Senate. You know, do you know what Star Wars movie I'm talking about? I forget which conversation this is. They were more about like protecting the people rather than just being like a galactic police force. You know,
I think that might be fucking Clone Wars, dude.
Actually, that sounds like something that Ahsoka would say.
Yeah, that's why she left the Order.
And this episode kind of explores that. That's what Dooku believed in. And that's why they go against the senator and protect the people, to investigate it a little more. I just thought that was great about this episode. And young Qui-Gon, fucking awesome. Voiced by Liam Neeson's son. I love this episode. But what did you like about Justice?
Everything you mentioned, on top of like what we saw with Qui-Gon and Dooku defending the innocent people, like knowing there's political corruption here, is just fucking fantastic, because we always get this notion that we have orders from the council. We do what the council says. We do it, we get out. No, Dooku's just like, these people are fucking innocent. And he even says it. He's like, this investigation isn't over. Like, we're still investigating this, even though like the son is literally at the barn. Dooku actually was a Jedi. Like, he was the most Jedi out of like any of the Jedi that we know. I fucking love it, and it's so sad how he turns to the dark side. Oh, it's so,
and the only reason why he kind of starts to fall is because of how over like the folks that have so much political power have over the people. And he was just like ready, like he's like, nah, I'm over your shit. Like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And that's what kind of starts to make him fall, you know?
But then you also throw on top of that, it's like Palpatine, Sidious is still creating his dark web within the Senate at the same time. So it's like, who the fuck do you really blame? This whole fucking web of like Jedi, the Republic, Order 66, like it's so fucking good.
Love it. And I have a question for you. So when a Jedi does fall, Dooku would have to corrupt the current Kyber crystal that he has, right, for it to bleed red.
I do not know the whole fantasy science behind the Kyber crystal thing.
I thought that was
I don't think
thing.
I don't think there's been enough either read or listened to prove that. We'll get into possible Kyber cleansing a little bit later.
Yes,
A little bit
we
later.
will. We absolutely will. I know where you're going. But I went to a quick fandom, Wikipedia fandom, and it does say, by the ways of the Force, they would pour negative emotions such as rage, hate, and fear and pain into the Kyber crystals, and the process would result in gaining a distinctive crimson or red hue.
So the way I think of it from that definition is like, as you are wielding a lightsaber and a Kyber crystal that is hilted within that lightsaber, every action that you do with that crystal harnesses that into the crystal. And there is one action that we'll get to that we'll talk about a little bit. That might be the tipping point into it.
We will. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. But actually, so I gave you the bottom three. I want to talk the top three. So I'm gonna give my third favorite.
Hit it.
My third favorite is Practice Makes Perfect. Which one is that for you?
That is my favorite.
That's your favorite one? That's your top favorite?
That is my favorite.
I do really love Practice Makes Perfect. Practice Makes Perfect just because like this is like Ahsoka training, and we get Anakin training her to defend herself against like just 50 million targets. I love Master Anakin in this just because like Ahsoka just says stuff like, droids are nothing compared to the clones. Like, why are you making me do all this? Because like, okay, well, if you can protect yourself against clones, like this is the best way that I can protect you is by teaching you to protect yourself. And it's just a classic.
Fucking ironic.
Yeah, it's just a it's just a classic like teacher student thing, you know, and I love that. But I think the greatest thing about this is that this goes through some time jumps. I think it goes to like 3 time jumps. It's like it starts off with her getting the first like training. It moves forward to her, I think, on a freighter against the clones again, like in the circle, trying to like be faster at it, I think. Right? I think she's just trying to improve her reaction time to like do it against multiple targets.
She goes like droids, closed in case droids, to new test, because Anakin was pissed that the test was faulty, like not a real test. Does it in a freighter over again. Then time jumps them doing it on an actual like cruiser with the boys.
But
Rex
then
in the
there's
501st, you know what I'm saying?
But there's one more time jump when she has to do it in the final arc of Clone Wars.
Yes. And that's like, oh my God.
I was like, fuck, dude.
This is why the shorts pissed me off.
I did not expect it to lead. Well, like I knew that like, okay, like this is how she learned it. Like this is like, I was already in my head thinking about like, okay, this is why she's so good with 2 lightsabers. She's like, I thought of the final arc of Clone Wars, but I didn't think they would actually like show just a piece of it. You know, I immediately went to the final arc just to watch the episode again. I was like, damn, this is
that is exactly what I wanted to do. I was like, dude, I need to go watch fucking season 7 again.
Yeah. Fuck. So that's my number 3. That's your number 1.
That's my number 1, dude. You fished it out of me, dude.
Okay.
It's so fucking good. Like she's so badass, man.
Ahsoka's great. She's the GOAT. Moving on to number 2. My number 2 is Resolve. Is that your number 2?
Guilty as charged.
This is post Order 66 Ahsoka. Fucking heartbreaking to see her attend Padme's funeral. Also, just the animation shot, like we get that same shot in Revenge of the Sith. The same like it's like a zoomed out shot of like over the water, just the nice like structures. It's the same time of day. Very cool. Like that animated shot literally looks just like the Revenge of the Sith shot, which is fucking crazy. But I think my favorite thing about this episode is it's her and Bale talking on that balcony. Like he gives her like a communicator and she almost refuses it, but then he gets approached by clone troopers But like while like he's explaining himself, he talks about like, okay, well, like I'm here, but sometimes we have a duty to like do all this stuff, you know?
He's talking to the clone troopers as if he's talking to Ahsoka.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Perfect.
It works, you know? I love that.
This is the start of Fulcrum.
By the end of it, I love how she uses the communicator, because she doesn't use it because like why did he give it to her again? Like in case that like if she needed, not if she needed help, right? So for anything.
It's anything.
So like what she uses it for is to help the people. For one of them screwed her over, but it didn't matter that she screwed her over just because like, well, like
he almost deserved it.
He almost deserved it, and yeah, so that was really nice. But we got to talk about this Inquisitor. This Inquisitor,
badass.
For one, I fucking loved the mask because I've never seen an Inquisitor wear this type of mask. It almost like looked like one of those like doctor masks from like the old days or whatever. But this whole scene, like the fire, his cape flowing, the mask looked great. This is like
his
peak Star Wars animation
driving into the ground. Like, oh,
it looked so good. It was fantastic. And yeah, no, this fight, I almost thought that she was about to like force grab or whip out a lightsaber herself. But then I realized that like, okay, I remember there was one time when we were talking about Ahsoka's white lightsabers on this podcast. I know it happened in a book, and I'm pretty sure Brian talked about it. I don't know if this was the Inquisitor that she got them from.
No.
Yeah, I thought it would be. But
I did too. Don't get me wrong, man. I thought, oh, God,
like I thought these
damn
were
it, I was waiting for it.
Yeah, I was waiting for her to like just whip out, like somehow like get the Kyber crystals out and purify them, but maybe on another Tales of the Jedi, or just another animated show just fully focused on Ahsoka. That'd be sick.
Or just like in Ahsoka.
Yeah, or in Ahsoka.
Maybe a little flashback in Ahsoka.
Yeah. Live action flashback. Dang, that'd be nuts. I would love to see that happen. Resolve, great episode, but what about you? What did you like about Resolve?
Nothing other than what you've already pointed out. There's two things that I gotta say. The knuckle crack from Ahsoka when she was facing off like weaponless versus the Inquisitor. I was just like, dude, this is unnecessary.
Yeah,
she cracked her knuckles. I was like, dude, come on. Like this was still very intense, but don't throw that in there. My main point out of this episode, her alias or her pseudonym is Ashla, which, if you remember in Rebels, Zeb, and that whole story arc was Zeb and the Lasat. There's like two old Lasats that he finds. He goes on this mission he doesn't want to be on, but the Lasat refer to the Force as Ashla. And I think it's just like very ironic that she picked this name. Like her name is literally the Force.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. I love it.
Wow. Nice. But okay, that brings me to my number one. And I'm curious where you have this one. My number one's the Sith Lord. Where do you have the Sith Lord?
Mine is number 3.
Here's why I like the Sith Lord so much. For one, shouts out to Yaddle.
Shouts
to Yaddle, voiced by Bryce Dallas Howard. Yaddle voiced by Bryce Dallas Howard. And, I saw a lot of critiques online, and I have an explanation for it because I found the answer. Yaddle, I don't know if this bothered you, but you know how she kind of just speaks like regular English compared to Yoda, who speaks in like weird riddles and rhymes and stuff.
Backwards sentences, yeah.
So a lot of people were like weirded out about that Yaddle spoke like regular English. But the answer to that is because Yoda is old as fuck, close to like 800, 900 years old, right? The way that Yoda speaks is the way that supposedly the OG Jedi spoke. So that's why he talks like that. And Yaddle is like, of course, younger. So she would speak like how everybody else talks.
You're talking like ancient mystics. The mystics, like before they were even called Jedi. That's how they spoke. That makes a lot of sense.
So, I mean, makes sense, So maybe leave Yaddle alone, you fucks.
Fuck out of here, man.
But I think the reason why I like this episode so much was just because I think it's in this one where it answered a question for me, or at least showed me something where I didn't know I wanted the answer to, or didn't even know I really wanted to see, was Dooku deleting Kamino out of the Jedi Archives.
It was so, oh my God.
Yeah.
So
I was like,
good.
Dang, that's like, yeah, no, I just thought it was like, just to see it visualized was awesome. And then what else did I like? Seeing Qui-Gon Jinn back, voiced by Liam Neeson. That was cool. And just hearing them talk about the Sith Lord he encountered on Tatooine,
like it was nothing.
Maul. Yeah, no, I was like
it was
just fought Maul. What are you talking about? Like,
Anakin, drop!
Yeah. And then we get a little time jump in there. This is like the final fall of Dooku to the dark side, because like the way that he like talked about it, because I didn't know, like it was in a similar way that Anakin fell, you know, because they both lost somebody that was like near and dear to them. And I didn't know that like Dooku had that type of connection with Qui-Gon. It was like after this, he was like, okay, I'm out. I'm kind of out for revenge now.
Dude,
I was just like, damn, that's fucking hard. You know,
it's so sad that like the day or the second that fucking Dooku knows where the funeral for Qui-Gon is going to be, he literally flies to Sidious to do the deed. It's just,
you really feel for Dooku. And I think that's why it's like my top favorite, just because like questions I didn't want answered were answered. Not that I didn't want them answered, but I was just like unexpected to see, like find the answer for it. Like knowing this much about Dooku's backstory is like, you know, he's a tragic character. I love that they were able to establish that through like what there's 3 episodes of Dooku, 15 minutes each. It's like 50 minutes of Dooku. It's a nice little arc. It's a perfect little arc, and I really like it. So that's why I have Sith Lord at number 1. And of course, like the duel between him and Yaddle mirrors or parallels the duel with him and Yoda in Attack of the Clones. So I think that's pretty neat. But fucking justice for Yaddle, dude. Yaddle almost like brought down the entire regime.
Almost.
She was so close.
Totally. Well, and I don't think she was being like false about what she was saying about how she agreed with Dooku on a lot of his thoughts. Like that wasn't just a tactic to like bring him down. That was like, this is a moment of clarity here for both of us, you know? But of course you get fucking Sidious cackle.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of tough. And I like that, you know, she went down swinging, but justice for Yaddle. # justice for Yaddle. Yeah, what did you like about the Sith Lord? Anything else?
Dude, the fucking force push up. The way Yaddle went out was fucking awesome, because like we thought that she just got crushed by the fucking door. No, and we got this like almost full like force theme going on. Like once they were bringing it up, they were so exhausted by using that much of their fucking power, they just fell over. And Dooku basically executed like a defenseless fucking Jedi, and it just,
that was it.
It just adds to the whole fucking thing, and you're like, God damn it, man! I don't love seeing Yaddle getting deleted, but I
Control Alt deleted, dude.
Yeah, no Alt F4 here. I don't want more shorts. I do not.
You don't want more shorts? I would love more shorts.
No, because every single short just makes me hang on the edge of my seat and want more. Yes.
Fair. Final thoughts. I would love more shorts. I think they're just quick little bites. I love the quick little bites. Just because I think there's like promise to see like maybe not more Dooku, but I think there's like potential to see like some of these side characters more in the future. You know, the stories, all the short stories are so well knit and tight and compact, you know, that at least for me anyway, each one of them when they end is like satisfying. But I do want more of it for sure. But I think overall, I give the series, like all 6 episodes, just rating 4.5 out of 5 for me. What about you? Any final thoughts?
4.9 out of 5 for me.
4.9.
And episode 1 is literally the 0.1 for me. But again, we already went over this. It's not because it's bad. It's just because you gotta, you know, you gotta be critical somewhere. If we do get another Tales of the Jedi, I would just love some more. Let's do some Qui-Gon Obi-Wan when Obi-Wan was much younger.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
That's what I want. But yeah, man, this is a 4 out of 5 for me. And it's like, it's the length of, it's shorter than a movie altogether. I cried pretty much every episode. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be mad if they like made some more of these, if they did it on like just other Jedi. Kit Fisto and fucking Plo Koon or some shit, you know?
I just want to see, you know, the point when Qui-Gon gets offered the seat on the council.
Yeah, like Qui-Gon and like another Sith or something. That'd be interesting. Like 3 episodes on each if they want to keep this format. But yeah, no, Tales of Jedi, I'm very satisfied with it. Pretty fucking good. But yeah, damn.
Least exciting thing to come out of on premiere out of like the Star Wars event in May.
Oh, out of Star Wars Celebration? Yeah.
Yeah, Star Wars Celebration. Like, this was like the least interesting thing to me, and it's actually turned out to be like one of the best things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So far.
Star Wars animation is great. Anywho, that was a good one. That'll do it for episode 105. I'm not sure what we're going to talk about on 106, but stick around, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to follow the Kyber Culture on YouTube and TikTok, as well as our other socials like Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. All the links are in the description. And until episode 106, may the Force be with you. Peace.
Peace.